Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. So, office bullying actually causes cardiovascular disease. This is an amazing fact for me. And I'm sure for you, this is something that you would look at seriously for yourself and the people around you. Here are 10 more amazing facts about bullying that most people are not aware of. Actually, many of them I was not aware of until I researched the subject further. So, let's continue on this subject. One of the main reasons behind unhealthy workplace is office or workplace bullying. It even can cause cardiovascular disease. This is very serious. We should take it very seriously. Here are the 10 facts that I already told you about that I would like to share with you. First of all, imagine 1 in 5 employees in the US had been a victim of bullying. Imagine what the numbers are for the rest of the world. It depends on the workplace. In some countries might be less, in some countries might be more. So I want you to look at it and assess for your area. What do you think that number is? And please do share that with me. There are lots of signs of workplace bullying that are indirect. In many cases, most cases, workplace bullying is not reported. So we have to look carefully for signs of workplace bullying. One of them is high turnover. People leave, they just leave. So if you have a role or a high turnover in a certain part of your organization, I believe you should look into turnover caused by bullying. Watch out for that. Most bullying, unfortunately, is legal. A lot of bullying is legal. Unless you are being discriminated against or you are discriminating against somebody, otherwise bullying might not be considered illegal. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but this is what I'm reading from research. And this is why in many cases it's hard to report it and it's very easy to get away with it. Unfortunately, people get away with it, but at the cost, at a very high cost for the organization, because you end up losing productivity and you lose good people. If you report office bullying, unfortunately, numbers, research, stories, and case studies show that you stand to lose more than you gain. So if you are being bullied, please be careful, tread carefully. I'm not saying don't report it. I'm saying report it, no problem, but make sure you take the steps carefully and well studied. For example, what I would do, I would start by looking at what policy the company has against bullying. Do they take it seriously? In some organizations, it's not taken seriously, unfortunately. In some cases, reporting it that means that you are a problem yourself. Sometimes HR cannot take it. They prefer that you don't talk about it. Sometimes they ask you for evidence as if you are in court, and it's very hard to bring evidence. So be very careful before reporting workplace bullying because you might be labeled. I'm not saying don't do it, just be careful about it. Now, I believe, and I also have seen many researchers and experts on this subject who agree with me. Sometimes your best option is quitting. So don't assume that if you leave, that means you're weak, that means you're not up to it. Absolutely not. It means that your health is a priority over taking it from somebody who is irresponsible, who is brute. So quitting might be your best option, and please do consider it. There's nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, a high percentage, most employers accept bullying, encourage it, and deny having it. This is a big problem. If you are responsible at an organization, please look into that. Are you condoning? Are you accepting bullying? Unfortunately, most bullies are bosses, which makes it even harder to report, harder to deal with. So we have to be careful about that. High absenteeism is also a sign of workplace bullying. So when we're looking for signs, if people are absent, they're not really engaged at work, one of the reasons you should address and you should consider is workplace or office bullying. Sometimes bullying shows up in strange ways. One of them is blocking employees from reaching their potential. That's considered bullying. So if you are a victim of such behavior from somebody in your organization, you are a subject of bullying, and this is wrong. So, if you are doing it, please stop doing it. Intentionally blocking employees from reaching their potential is a form of bullying. Here's another spin on this, on bullying. It's considered bullying only if the behavior harms you. Now remember, bullying is not about just the behavior. It's also about your reaction to the behavior. It does not mean the behavior is right or wrong. It's not about the behavior being right or wrong. Now, the behavior can be right or wrong. That's one thing. How you react to it is another thing. So for you, a certain situation will be harmful for you, and you react in a way that stresses you, and that becomes bullying. For somebody else, they might not care about it. It's not bullying. Still, give you an example. Somebody comes in and actually bullies someone by blocking them from reaching their potential, by talking to them disrespectfully, by demeaning them. Now, this is wrong regardless of your reaction. Some people will not care and will not be harmed by it. In that case, it's bullying only if you are hurt. So in that case, if you're not hurt by it, it's not bullying. Women, unfortunately, are subject to bullying more than men. Or this is what statistics show us. However, also statistics show that men are less likely to report bullying. And maybe this is why the numbers make it look like women are more subject to bullying than men. So both are subject to bullying. Numbers show that women are more subject to it, and numbers also show that men unfortunately don't report it. We should look at why, how come. Most of us have been a victim of bullying to different levels. I have been a victim of bullying. Some of the best employees I have talked to me about being victims of bullying. It happens in every organization. So if you think it does not happen at your organization, then I consider this a sign for you to look harder. This is a very important subject, affects productivity, affects your health. Please pay attention to it. Thank you for listening.